Hi, katzcradul here. I thought a long time when trying to decide what to title this video, and addictive bacon seems to be the best thing I can come up with. It is truly that. If you make this, you'll want to make it again and again. This is only the third time I have ever made it in almost 8 years. The first 2 times I made it on one day, and then I made it again on the another day, and then I told myself to forget how to do it. So that's just a little warning here for you. All right, the first thing I do when I take my pound of bacon out of the package is I lay it on the rack that the bacon's going to be cooking on, and I just move it back and forth because I just want to grease that rack, and might as well just use the bacon, right? All right, so I'm going to move that off to the side, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the brown sugar and the fresh cracked black pepper. I start with about a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half of fresh cracked black pepper, and I start with about a half cup of brown sugar. If I need more, I can mix more up very quickly, depending on the amount of bacon that I'm using. All right, so that's mixed up. Now what I want to do is I kind of want to spread it out in a bacon-shaped strip. Now I'm going to take my first piece of bacon and I'm going to lay it down in the brown sugar black pepper mix. I'm going to lift it up and take it to my tray. I'll show you with the tray when I get it complete. If it doesn't completely cover the bacon, it's not an issue because you can go back and sprinkle more on once you get it on the tray. But that's how it's looking, okay? I'm going to get it all done, and then I'm going to show you what my finished tray looks like. I finished getting the bacon ready for the rack, and I was left with 2 slices of bacon out of that 1 pound package, which is no problem because you always need bacon for seasoning, whether it's green beans or pork and beans or something like that. So I'm going to seal that up and put it in the fridge for later. There was no brown sugar or black pepper left, but if there is, you can always put that in a Ziploc bag or a small container to use to sweeten a batch of chili. So don't throw that away. If you don't think you're going to use it, you know, within a week, you might want to put it in the freezer. Okay, so this gets folded up and thrown away. No mess to clean up there. And here's what the tray of bacon looks like. It's perfectly beautiful. You just kind of make sure that the brown sugar and the black pepper are on there evenly, and that looks pretty good to me. I do stack them in pretty tightly. What I like about this, the first time I ever tried it, I put my bacon on a rack and then I sprinkled the brown sugar on it and then cracked the black pepper on it. And the problem was that a lot of it fell down under the tray. And in this process, whatever falls down on this tray, the bacon drippings or the brown sugar or whatever, are pretty much unusable unless you can think of something you would use sweetened bacon drippings for. And some of that, the sugar will burn just slightly, but not to worry. When you do it this way, you don't have much. Well, let me just show you. There's just a little bit of brown sugar down there, and I could wipe that off or dump it in my sink and then just put the rack back on. In fact, I may just do that because, like I said, that will burn. But some of the brown sugar is going to melt off of the bacon anyway, so I'll probably just skip that and just put it in the oven just like this. So I'm going to bake it in my 350-degree oven, and I'll show you when it comes out. You do want to bake this crisp, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. As the bacon begins to cool, the sugar begins to crystallize, and I'll show you how that looks. See how it's stringing under there? Wow, that's exactly what you want to have happen. All right, you want to move it before it's perfectly cool because you do not want it to stick to this rack. So here you go. We'll let it finish cooling over here on this platter. I'll show that to you in just a second. All right. Now, we'll admit that the rack is a little bit tedious to clean. But remember, I greased it with the bacon before I started. And you're going to put it in hot soapy water and just let it soak. I have made this before where I simply just crumbled up aluminum foil and baked it on the crumbled aluminum foil. So I didn't have to deal with the rack. It didn't come out as good, but it did work okay. I'm going to tell you true. Whoever you serve this to will be so impressed. See how this little piece is wanting to stick? It's because I almost let it cool too much. All right, let me move this over here. I'll switch places. All right, look at that bacon. It is fabulous. I'm going to take this little piece right here that's stuck to the tray. Prepare, you want to take that little piece here. Try this.
I'm a believer now.
I can't even tell you how good this is. It's a once a year kind of treat, I would think, because now tell me, see, Prepare was skeptical because it had the cracked black pepper, and she's not a real fan of a lot of cracked black pepper. What do you think?
Oh, it's amazing. That is so good.
Yeah, this is something you may just want to pretend you never saw. Until next time, this is Cat's Cradle and
Prepare.